sweetheart.
Hi, honey.
Today we're going to talk about the credit card game.
Yay!
Do you want to be player one or player two?
I'll be player one.
That's exciting.
I'll see.
And there goes my player one. But he is very important to the game. So I'm Cynthia and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm going to talk to you about how we're playing the credit card game in slow retirement and what we started with and kind of our plan and what we hope to achieve with this. So what we started with first is the IHG cards, because we watched a few videos on these and we saw how much the points were worth when you actually redeem them. Plus they had some really great value for buying points. So I got my card first, and then I referred Tim and he got his card. That gave me a bonus of 20,000 points, which was awesome. With these cards though, we have stayed at some IHG hotels. We stayed at the Crown Plaza and some Holiday Inns, but we've paid cash for those so far. And we are actually staying at the Crown Plaza in Glasgow next week in Scotland. Very excited about that. We have paid for that. It's a 5-night stay, and we upgraded to the lounge access and the breakfast. So I'm excited to see how that works because we've not done that before. But we paid that with cash. We have not used our points yet, mainly because we're saving them for next year. We knew we didn't have enough time to get the 40 nights needed for the lounge access this year. With these cards, we are both platinum members already, but because we don't have any night stay, we don't have the lounge access yet. So these cards will really come into play along with their points starting in January of next year, which is when we plan on January, February. We will be staying in Turkey and I will be getting my lounge access. And then in March and April, Tim will be getting his lounge access when we stay in the Algarve in Portugal. So stay tuned for how these work for us and what we think. I'm very excited about these cards. Also because of the fact that we are planning a trip to Vietnam in fall of next year. I'm waiting for the 1111 sale and to see what kind of deals I can get on that, if it's worth it or if I should buy more points for those stays. We'll see about that. But by then we'll definitely have our lounge access and we'll be able to utilize that in Vietnam. So 6 weeks Vietnam in the fall. So excited about that. These cards will come in very handy at that point, and we'll see how that goes. These each have a $99 annual fee. I do think we'll get enough benefit out of them. Plus, I think we get a free night every year after our first year. So definitely we'll get enough use out of them. So I'm excited about these. These are good cards, and these are going to be our keeper cards. We aren't actively using them. We met the bonus requirement needed for these cards to get our welcome offer bonus, but we aren't actively using the cards after that. They are paid off in full, and we intend to keep them paid off in full every single month because we don't want to pay that interest rate at all. And if you're going to play this credit card game with the points and miles, you really need to be able to pay these cards off every month. So excited to see how these two cards work. The next card I want to talk about is this one. So my sister and brother-in-law are meeting us in Thailand in November next month, so about 4 weeks away, I guess. And they have lounge access. I think they're either titanium or platinum, and they've been doing it for years, so they're loyalists. Unfortunately, Tim and I are not loyalists, so I paid for my loyalty. $650 Amex card got me platinum status there. Should give me some free room upgrades. Not so sure I'm happy with this card, to be perfectly honest with you. I think I got bonus offers of 85,000 points for doing a spin within a certain number of months. Again, the card is paid off. I do have on it a $300 $300 per year restaurant credit, which is $25 per month. And I have to actively remember to use this card and to actively find a place that accepts this card. In Portugal, we tend to use DoorDash because we know that they will accept this card. Other than that, it's been kind of difficult in Portugal to find somebody who will take this card on a more local type place that we eat at. So if we're out and about staying at a hotel and we decide to do a DoorDash, which we have done twice already and used this card twice for that, and it's come in very handy for that, and we just pay it off immediately afterwards. We do get the $25 credit, which is nice. We were able to use it once already here in the United Kingdom, locally in Henley on Thames. So we're here right now, and there was a restaurant attached to, I think, a hotel that took it. We were already eating there anyways, so it made sense to just go ahead and use the card. Luckily, I had it on me. So, but this one has a $650 annual fee. I know I get the $300. Like I said, it's going to be active use. I'm interested to see how the lounges work and if it's going to be worth that $350 extra. There were some offers on this card, so I think I've saved $33 so far in paying insurance bills that were already due for life insurance through this card. So I should be up to at least $330 in savings to offset that $650. And I know after the first year we will get a 85-point one-night stay. So we'll see how that all works. I'm not too sure I'm thrilled about this Amex card. To be honest with you, it's a little bit expensive and it may or may not be worth it. I'll have to decide if it's a keeper card next year when we actually renew it again and see what I think about it. But we are staying in Marriott, Sheraton, or something of that nature, Marriott branded hotels when we are in Thailand, and we'll be there for 2 weeks. We will have lounge access. Both the hotels we're staying at do have lounges. So I'm anxious to see how that works with these cards. In addition to that, we are definitely staying 4 nights in the Algarve next March in a Bonvoy Marriott property as well. So this card may or may not come in handy there. I don't think that property actually has lounge access, so I don't think it really matters. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about this card. I'm not so sure this is a keeper card. It's expensive. It does get me platinum status at Marriott. With Marriott, they have, it depends, I think, on where you want to stay, what city you're looking at, and things of that nature. I've not been really happy about the redemption points so far. I think I've got 210 points saved up right now, and I'm kind of struggling as to what I'm going to do with those. I'm actually thinking about changing them over to and converting them to Aeroplan points through Air Canada, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So the last credit card that I have here, but not the last one we talked about today, is my Player One's card, the Amex Platinum card. This one has a $695 annual fee, which is quite steep, I will say. With this card, though, I do think we will get that back because there are definitely things that we are using on it that we are already paying for. So it's not like this is something we're going out of our way to buy that we wouldn't normally do. So with this card, for example, they have the digital entertainment, which is $220 a month for a total of $240 a year, which is great. They also have the hotel credit. As I mentioned before, we are staying at the W in Algarve, which is part of the Marriott branded hotels, in March of next year. It's either March or April of next year. Because it's part of their luxury collection, and because they have a $200 credit for booking a hotel in their luxury collection, I went ahead and booked the W Algarve. I wanted to stay there. I actually looked at it if I could stay on points, but points per night were 50,000 points per night, and that seemed really high. The price we paid for the hotels for 4 nights was $941, less the $200 credits of $741. But in addition to that, we also get a $100 credit to use at the hotel for room service, for dining, for a spa, whatever. Also, they are running a special, which is why I booked 4 nights of this hotel, $250 hotel credit in addition to that $100 credit. So when I plugged in my Marriott number after doing this reservation and it showed up that it was only going to be $741 for the 4 nights, and that I had a $350 credit on the hotel. In addition to that, we get free breakfast every day. And the breakfast was 35 euros per person. I'll be honest with you, Tim and I will never spend that kind of money per person on a breakfast. I don't care how fabulous it is. I don't think we'd ever spend 35 euros per person to have breakfast anywhere. But since it's included, we will definitely have it. Plus they have late checkout at 4 p.m. and early check-in at 12 noon. So I'm liking that on this card. It's a place I wanted to stay. We are staying in hotels. It saved me $550. I'm sure I can use the credits without a doubt for dinners, for whatever. That will be definitely nice. So I'm looking forward to that stay in either March or April. And I think this card will be very useful. In addition to that, it has a $200 incidental credit for airlines. And we are flying American Airlines in, when are we flying it? January, back from St. Louis to Portugal. So if we do decide to do any seat upgrades, if we decide to buy any food on the flight or anything of that nature, if we need to check any extra bags, $200 credit would cover that on this card. It has to be, I think it has to be American-based airline. But that wasn't a problem for us. I was able to do it. So I'm really looking forward to doing that on this card. I think that this will be a good card for us. I think that this is going to be a keeper card. I'm anxious to see. I think the $695 per year annual fee will be justified on that card. And I think that we'll get value out of it without a doubt. In addition to that, paying for itself. On top of that, we just applied for another card, which is the Aeroplan Miles card through Air Canada. And Air Canada has some really interesting flights through their partners that we are looking to utilize. Specifically, we are going to Turkey in February, and they do partner with Turkish Airlines. And we can get a business class flight from Porto, Portugal, which is just about half an hour north of Aveiro, where our apartment is, to Turkey direct, to Istanbul direct, for 20,000 miles per person one way. So it's less than 100,000 miles total for both of us to fly business class to and from Turkey, and it's like a 5 or 6 hour flight. So I'm actually thinking about, and this is what I said earlier, transferring my Marriott Bonvoy points over to Aeroplan in order to go ahead and book those business class flights, because I think I will get better value out of it. Those business class flights, when I looked them up, were about $2,000 per person, I want to say. I could be wrong, but when I looked it up a while ago, it was. So that would be good savings and much more value for my points that I'm going to be getting through Marriott that wanted to do 50,000 points just for one night stay, which seemed excessive. But Marriott's got dynamic pricing that did not seem in line with how much you pay for the points versus how much you pay at a cash rate being a member. So I'm kind of also up in the air with that Marriott Bon Voyage card through American Express for that reason. Again, we'll see if it's a keeper card or not. But I am anxious about the card that should be coming any day now, about the Aeroplan. It's a Chase card, and we'll see how that one works. It does come with a welcome offer as well. If you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, you get 75,000 miles, I think. And we'll definitely spend that. We've got Christmas coming up, so that won't be a problem. We're traveling back to the United States, so we know it will be expensive. So that will be easy to get that spend done without a doubt, unfortunately. But that's my credit card strategy right now. I will be looking to add another one to my game. I haven't quite decided which one yet. I haven't reached that 524 rule, and neither has my player one. So we'll see how that goes. If you have any advice as what you think we should get next, let me know. I'll put a link to the Platinum card down below if you're interested in that one. Right now, that one and the IHG cards are my favorites right now. That could change, we'll see, especially with the Aeroplan. I'm anxious to see how that would work. I'm really anxious to see because I want to book, and I'm not ready to book this yet. And it's too early to book it right now anyways, because I can't book this far in advance on planes. But they let you do a stopover for up to 45 days. So when we go to Vietnam, I think we might do a stopover in Singapore on the way there and maybe a stopover in Hong Kong on the way back because it's only an extra 5,000 points. So that sounds interesting to me. Tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts. Let me know what your game is. Let you know I'm really a novice at this. I just started it. And I will tell you it's a lot to think about and to look at and to kind of decide and weigh the options of the different cards to see which one may or may not work for us specifically based on our travel plans. So definitely something I would suggest you look into if you're interested. If you are full-time travelers like we are, it may make sense for you to do this, especially if you're looking for hotels and flights. But it's something to think about, and I just thought I'd share our journey. Thanks for watching.